Okay.
So I started taking pictures from the pennies perspective to see how it was lying there. This one I thought was really intriguing. This is a Muni Pass for when you ride the bus and you purchase your bus ticket and you get a pass so that you can ride it 90 minutes later. But I love the worm in this one because there's not a whole lot of organic material in the city, and so I absolutely love that this one was just disgusting in the gutter with a worm. This one was taken much later. Not only was I finding them on the ground, but stopping at the ATM, someone had super glued 2 pennies to the ATM. This should be further in, but I just thought I'm seeing them absolutely everywhere, not only on the ground, but someone had crazy glued them to the ATM. Someone had crazy glued them to the bus wall when I took a bus one time next to the USPS postal marker there. But yes, 3 pennies. And I didn't care if they were heads up or tails up. I never picked them up. I actually left them there for other people to have the good look. I thought just seeing them was the best luck, and taking a great picture of them was luck enough. This was near a goldfish on the ground. Someone had lost their snack, apparently. And there was some sort of a drizzle that looked like a dinosaur over here. I don't know. They just, every time I saw them, they had such character for where they were laying. And I started a blog so that I could prove to people that I was seeing them every single solitary day. This is the famous Castro Theater in the Castro in San Francisco, which is the notoriously gay district. And I just love that it had a view of the theater every day of its life, or as long as it was lying there. It's a crazy pop chip vehicle that ran around. Yeah. I guess the cement was wet and someone decided to put a neat little graphic in there, and this guy was hanging out waiting for me to take his picture. I don't see them as often anymore here in Virginia. I think it was just this great little snippet in time. This was on my birthday. This was after about 4 bottles of champagne and 2 people. And I noticed the light gleaming in on this one by the fire hydrant. And so, of course, I was jumping up and down. This is my birthday penny. This is my birthday penny. They were everywhere. This was in the washing machine after I pulled clothing out. And we joked that Lincoln got his brain sucked out because he's void of anything from there up. So we joked that the washing machine sucked us. But I was finding them everywhere, not just on the ground, but everywhere. This one was actually embedded. I rode my bike from my home to public transportation, and this was waiting for traffic to move, and this one was actually cemented in. So I knew that one probably wasn't waiting for me. It had been there a while. I don't know. I chose the perspective that they were there for me to take their picture. Again, public transportation, the BART that runs underground. I like the depth of this one next to my bicycle tire here as I waited for the next train to arrive or the next stop to arrive. This was on one of those airport shuttles that picks you up 5 hours before your flight when you live in a city and you have to wait for it to pick up everyone who has the flight in the morning. And the sun actually finally came up after being on the shuttle for about 3.5 hours. And I thought, oh wow, there was a penny there the whole time. They are following me. For a brief period, I lived east of San Francisco on an island called Alameda, and this one sort of buried itself in the ground just in front of our house here. So they weren't strictly to San Francisco. They were starting to migrate elsewhere. My friend's porch, she had a great deal of wisteria, and I can't remember the other name of the plant, but she moved in, she signed a lease and moved in, and there was a penny on her porch because I was with her, of course. That was the thing. Oh, the penny girl, okay. This was some sort of a Japanese candy wrapper and a maple leaf, which I thought was cool because I had just recently spent time in Japan and I knew that the maple grew in Japan, and I thought it was funny that it was a Japanese wrapper with a maple leaf. I saw all kinds of signs. This might be the only one that I've seen here in Virginia. This is in Gloucester, Virginia, at the Dollar Tree, and I thought it was really funny that I found a penny in front of the Dollar Tree. So of course, And these are all taken with my phone camera, and so there's a lot of time with friends on your hands and knees and lying down and taking really odd angled photographs. This was in Oakland waiting for the bus. I don't think many people would notice this, and it's not highly unusual. Many people are getting into their wallets and purses and looking for money at public transportation, but I don't think a lot of people saw it, and so I chose to make it my little beacon of perspective. This was in Santa Fe. I was there with a friend for his art exhibit, and they had a crazy snowstorm in Santa Fe, and there happened to be a penny for us while we were getting gas during 3 feet of snow in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This was an airport, some parking spot. And of course, there was a penny there as we went to get the rental car. And of course, we had stories about the crazy oil blobs and what they may have meant to the penny that was there. It really took on a life of its own. Oh, here's another Virginia. This was Busch Gardens with the strange little thing that goes around. Again, not completely odd that pennies would be on the ground, because these are places where people are digging for money, but it just I became a magnet for seeing them. This again was another public transportation area, a grid, just sort of a crosswalk area. So most of the time it was about what was behind it, and then every so often it may have been about its immediate surroundings. And I thought that had a neat sort of linear look to it.